The Rochester Association of Black Journalists is honoring local heroes who've made significant contributions to our community. Rochester Legends is a new documentary film and children's book series that aims to encourage reading and an appreciation of local history. We're joined today by RABJ President Richard McCullough and Kevin Hicks, Vice President of Print. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
So Richard, let's start with an overview of the Rochester Association of Black Journalists.
Well, we are a local chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists, and our chapter was established in 2004, so we've been around for more than 10 years, 11 years. And before we were established as RABJ, there was the Rochester Black Communicators, and they were around. They preceded us. They came back before us. So we've had some kind of association around for quite a time.
Yeah, and Janet Lomax started that, and she's a member of our organization too.
Absolutely.
Our mission is to have more diversity in the newsrooms and more people. We want to see more people of color in the newsrooms, in the management decision-making positions in media.
Right.
Whether it's television or print or internet media, we want to see more diversity in the news media, and that's what our job is.
How did the Rochester Legends project come about, and how does that complement the mission of RABJ?
Well, I'll take the thing about that is the idea is to educate the public and engage the public in our history. And journalism is intertwined in this whole thing. We harken back and we bow to Frederick Douglass, who published the North Star here, who educated people in this community about what was going on in the world,
right.
of abolition efforts and so forth. And so our job with RABJ Legends is to spotlight people in our community that have done significant things and deserve to be recognized and deserve to have a professionally produced film about them. We want to know more about these people.
Absolutely.
And in addition to that, with the film, we have a children's book. RABJ is committed to education. We want to teach kids to read. We love reading. I got thousands of books in my library.
Right.
I love reading. So we want to have a book that kids can read from first, second, and third grade. We want to encourage them to read about people in their local communities. That's essentially it. It's an exciting project.
It really is.
Yeah.
Kevin, who are the honorees this year?
We have Dr. David Anderson. A lot of people know him as a storyteller,
Right.
griot, and also highlighting the United States Colored Troops as well.
Right.
We have Constance Mitchell, who at the time that she was elected in early 60s was the first African American in that position locally.
Right.
So a real trailblazer. And also Dr. Walter Cooper, who a lot of people know through his work with such organizations as the Urban League, Action for a Better Community, and also the Bamako Mali Sister Cities program.
And Richard, you've been overseeing this project for several years.
Yes.
Producing, directing. How long have you been working on this, and what does that work entail?
Well, it's first of all, you have to be passionate about whatever it is you do.
Right.
I'm passionate about filmmaking and producing and collecting history. Passionate about meteorology. I love those
Right.
things. And so it's just something that I've been following, and I joined with RABJ. I was a member of RABJ, and they love the idea and have embraced the idea and have been behind this 100%. And so we joined together. But yeah, going back to 2012, I started shooting footage of these different individuals with an eye for doing something on them, and in addition to other people too. There are other notables that I have my camera right over there. I've got my video camera, the professional camera, and I'll get some footage, get some pictures of people, and put it away so that, God forbid anything happens to them. But I want to make sure that I have some kind of chronicling of their history if they make an appearance somewhere or whatever, that we can come back to it and do something on them. Yeah.
You've gathered so much material and spent so much time with these very well-known figures in the community. What have you learned, though, about them that maybe you didn't know before?
Oh, heavens. Perseverance. Perseverance and strong characters. And their parents had such an influence on their lives. And I can relate to that. That's what I learned. When you watch this documentary film, you're going to see something about Dr. Walter Cooper when he was a little boy growing up, and how his parents stressed reading, how they subscribed to the newspapers, the Pittsburgh Journal and Courier, and they read, and his sister taught him how to read. Same with for Dr. David Anderson. His parents, and remember, their parents were not as educated as they were, but their parents knew that education was very important, and they wanted their child to have that education. They stressed education, stressed pride in your background, your culture, and back them up. Constance Mitchell the same way. Her father passed away when she was born, but she grew up with her mother and her grandmother. Her grandmother was the most important figure in her life. She learned so much from her grandmother. And so I think that's what I learned. I can relate to their upbringings in the sense that they had strong influences when they were younger. Yeah.
What do you hope to achieve with the children's book? And this, what's the age range that you're targeting?
3rd grade.
Okay.
And what we hope is we want to be able to distribute it not only in the city schools, but also going out into the surrounding counties.
Sure.
And a lot of times children read about different people, but they're in a place that's far removed from them. And these are people who have made an impact right here in the Rochester area. So. And
the public is invited to come see the first premiere of the documentary?
It's a new thing. It's big. It's It's going to be a tradition. This RABJ Legends, we want it to be around forever. This book is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's going to be a book that has all these stories in it, children's stories about these different characters through history. So it's going to keep growing. I'm going to be an old man and gone, and so will he. But our future members will carry this on. We want it to keep going on and growing. Well, can I say that? I mean, it's going to be at the Academy of Medicine. $50 for the ticket, and it's like a big reception, great
April
reception.
1st,
Yeah,
6 to 9 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's new, and so what we want to do is keep it going and make people aware of it so that we can keep this tradition going. Yeah.
And Kevin, I know some of the proceeds from the book, from ticket sales, are going to go towards a very special project that RABJ does every year. Can you tell us about that?
Well, it's going to go to our Future Journalist Scholarship, and we've given a number of scholarships over the years to students, and it will also fund other RABJ activities that will help benefit the community.
Oh, and I want to mention, you said student. Who's going to be helping you illustrate the children's book? Keeping it all local.
Unique Fair. A young man, a student locally. The mayor knows him. I mentioned we interviewed the mayor, and she said, "Oh yeah, I know Unique Fair." We want to encourage young artists. Come and join us.
Sure.
We want to encourage young journalists to come and join us. We're going to have amongst our ranks, they're going to be broadcast journalists and print journalists that are going to be interviewing future legends, individuals. So it's a journalistic endeavor. It's going to be something that we write about. We're going to write blogs, and we're going to write stories that are going to be, and more information on the website. So it's a journalistic piece to inform the public about these individuals in our community. They're all around us, and we focused on some individuals in this case that are in their 80s and near 90. So we wanted to make sure we let them know that we appreciate them, we love them, their work has influenced so many people. Action for a Better Community. Do you know who helped start that? Dr. Walter Cooper.
Dr. Cooper.
Dr. Cooper wrote the proposal up in Constance Mitchell's kitchen on her table. He wrote the proposal up there.
That's wonderful.
You know, and also Urban League. He was behind that. Dr. Cooper brought in David Anderson to be one of the directors of one of the executive directors of ABC and also the Urban League. And Connie Mitchell, you know, was also involved. They all worked in concert. So this documentary deals with these individuals who knew each other, worked with each other. It is really fascinating history. And again, people of color. You know, we're talking about people of color. Also, you know, our Latino cousins, you know, whoever, Caribbean, whatever, whoever in Rochester, we want to include in this as we go forward.
Kevin, what has the community reaction been when you tell them about this big project that you're working on?
They've really been surprised. I was just mentioning at my church the other day, and they were like, "What? You're going to be doing a book for kids?" And so I think there's excitement out there, and people can certainly get information about this on our Facebook page. And also Eventbrite. You can get more information if you can buy tickets online at Eventbrite, or go to Rochester Association of Black Journalists on Facebook, and you can find all the information where to buy tickets and so forth. And we're looking forward to making sure that people come in and pay tribute to these individuals. They, again, we can't do enough for them because they sacrificed a lot. There were death threats to a lot of these individuals. Rochester was not the Rochester that you know today when they were our age or younger. I mean, there was no dormitory for black people at certain universities. At RIT, for example, they didn't let black people have dorms there at that time. I mean, there's things like that. There was no housing. You know, there was housing discrimination in the 60s.
But where we're at today is because of them.
Definitely.
They sacrificed a lot. They had families. They sacrificed a lot. Let's pay tribute to them, and thank God that things have changed.
Thank you guys so much for coming on today. Again, the Rochester Association of Black Journalists Rochester Legends premiere is set for Saturday, April 1st at the Rochester Academy of Medicine, and tickets can be purchased at eventbrite.com. You can also call 442-3728 for more information.